Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading doing the nightly market review for Wednesday, March the 13th. So happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Had a lot of data that has already come out this week and more coming out tomorrow. So let's jump right in. I have got the NASDAQ here on the far left, the RUT or the IWM in the middle, and my ticks in the third column, and then of course the ES that we always follow. And I'm going to minimize these and we'll focus on the ES because today we were the light gray. This is the overnight session and this is the cash session today, and we were very tightly range bound, not much going on. In fact, I posted an alert right here and said, well, it looks like we're going to chop into the end of the day, and then we got this big flush down and then a rip straight back up. I have no idea what that was about. I was jokingly saying in our one of our trading rooms that it looks like somebody got the PPI numbers early. Joking, but it makes you wonder. Anyway, that is the other big event that we've got coming up tomorrow morning before the open is PPI. We had CPI on Tuesday, and that was reported right there. Tuesday, again, this is the overnight session. It was reported 8:30 8:30 Eastern before the market opens, and we just ripped straight up, straight down, straight up. Big day for the market, and we're all like scratching our heads because CPI came in hotter than expected, which means inflation's ticking up a little bit, and that is not good for the Fed to encourage them to cut rates, because the Fed wants inflation down around 2%. It's at 3.2 right now. It needs to go lower. Instead of going lower, it's going higher, basically. And so I'm scratching my head while we're rallying on that news, but we did. And there could have been a number of reasons for that. It was a little bizarre. I thought we would get this kind of reaction instead. Down, not anything critical, nothing black swan or anything, but I thought if it came in a little bit hotter that it would not be good news for the market. So we are continuing to. You can see we've just been hovering right at this green line, which is a voodoo tree line, and a voodoo line is an Elliott wave kind of Fibonacci combo line that we use, and we're hovering right there. That's a big target, a big magnet. And so in the morning before the open, 8:30 in the morning, we will have PPI reported, and we should expect the same kind of thing, probably a little uptick. They do tend to track together. I think the Fed kind of watches PPI a little more closely, but the market seems to react more to CPI, been my experience. So we'll see. In any case, it is not dampen the spirits of the market much at all. And let's go back out here and get a little bit longer time frame. So this is a 20-day chart, up, up, up. And as you can see, every little sell-off has been, and these are decent sell-off, I guess, has just been met with buying, 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 buying. And I know there's a lot of cash on the sideline. I read it was, I don't know what, $6 trillion on $6 billion on sidelines, 7 billion, whatever. But I think it's kind of around the historic norm, maybe a little higher. But I don't know that money's going to come flowing back in the market and pump it up or anything. But anyway, let's look here and go even to a little bit longer term. I'm going to switch this over to a 1-year chart, and as you can see, we have made a off the lows here in last November. This red line is a voodoo fire line. So off that line, which is, this is ES 4100 to essentially 5200. That is a massive move, basically straight up. Very little red on that chart, on the way up. This is, again, that's our tree line, and that tends to be a place where we might pause for a little bit, and I'll convert this ES over to SPX and show you what I'm talking about right here. We're not quite there on the SPX yet. Let me zoom in a little bit, and as you can see right here, 51.89. The tree line is at 52.21. I suspect if things follow through like they did from CPI, PPI comes in a little hot for whatever reason. The market rallies up a little bit. Doesn't have to go much. We'll reach up there and tag that. Now, what I'm also expecting, the last time we did that to a voodoo tree line, we got rejected once, twice, 3 times, and on the 4th time through, we finally went higher. And these patterns play out fairly often. I mean, nothing's ever guaranteed or 100% in trading, but I suspect we don't get through that on the first time unless, the PPI comes in like a really cool number, much lower than expected, and then we really gap up, and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's very likely. But again, that's kind of level I'm looking at. SPX 52.21. Kind of same scenario for the NASDAQ. All these charts look beautiful. That's a great looking chart, right? I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that, right? NASDAQ as well. Again, reach up there. We got a fire line up here on the NASDAQ at 18,511. Put that, write that down. That's probably where we're going. So we have to keep trading this thing higher. I'll do a simple moving average. We have to keep trading it higher until we're proven otherwise, and the market continues to be very convinced that we're going to get rate cuts. We're not going to get them. Next week we have another Fed meeting, but the probability of a rate cut is by less than 1%. It's basically not going to happen. More likely to happen at the June Fed meeting. We shall see. Even then, I'm a little suspect of that happening, but the market is pretty convinced we're going to get some rate cuts, and sooner than later. That's the big question. When is, are we going to get them? And yes, of course, I think we will at some point when inflation starts coming down, but we don't know when that's going to be. Sooner or later, and that's the big question. That's what everybody's waiting on. So keep an eye on inflation. Keep an eye on what the Fed is saying. We're past earnings season for the most part now. And so the biggest thing is going to be the Fed, so just keep an eye on that. And we keep playing this thing to the upside. It makes me nervous, but we keep playing it to the upside as we go. That's the only thing we can do here. It's the best thing to do, most logical thing to do, within reason. Of course, we're going to limit our risk and tight stops and all that kind of things that we normally do and always do. But we got to keep playing this thing to the upside. But watch tomorrow morning when the PPI is reported and see if it mimics what happened on Tuesday for the CPI. Then next Wednesday we will have a Fed meeting. Watch what the language is at the Fed meeting and all that kind of stuff. And I suspect unless the Fed kind of changes course that we probably keep grinding higher with the same kind of back and forth. We stair step up. It's always stair step up and then elevator down, right? That's a perfect example of stair step up, up and down, up and down, up and down. We're just working our way up, very, very calm and orderly, right? And that's what we want. So with that, I'm going to wind it up really until we get past tomorrow and we get past the Fed. We'll have a little more clarity, but other than that, we just wait and watch. It's getting harder and harder to find good stock ideas because a lot of stocks are very extended right now. But they're out there. They're kind of few and far between, but they're still out there. So if we can help you, come into the trading rooms at Simpler Trading. I run a room called the Bias Room, and then I'm in the main room as well. So if I can help you, let me know. If any of we have a lot of good traders in that Simpler, so if we can help, let us know. So thanks for the time. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you at the next update. Thanks.
Without Simpler Trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me